So in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I went from 0 to 5k a month in 5 months, and now I work about 3 hours max on the business because I'm traveling. I've got nothing planned. I'm going to go straight to it, and I think that's going to be more authentic as well. So I don't want to give you like a whole backstory of my story or anything. That could be another video. So I started my personal brand in June, and that's exactly when I posted my first video, and it was just me documenting my journey. I just finished my A-levels. I didn't really have a full business. I was just documenting what I was doing, and I was starting up kind of a website / SaaS agency. So I did that for 5 months, and in October I had my first inbound lead, and he came to me for help with editing his videos, and he wanted a video a bit like this, and I was obviously posting videos like this. He saw my YouTube, so then he came into my Instagram and saw my feed that I was editing videos like that, pinged me on message and was like, yo, can you help me out with this one video to edit, like a 10-second video for 25 quid? And I was like shit, yeah. And that was my first ever online money, you could say, ever job, ever client. And it was just a one-off video. That's all he wanted. So I wouldn't, like, he was a client, but I wouldn't really say he was a client. It was just a one-time job. And so then I had a SaaS for 5 months, which was making no money. And I was like, I just made money, and he came to me. So I was like, why not try an outreach? And so what I did is I used IG. Oh, so I'm gonna write this. I used IG. And what I did is I did 25 DMs in the morning and 25 DMs in the afternoon, which equate to 50 DMs a day, every single day. And I was getting quite a lot of replies back. And my second client, but I'm going to say my first ever proper client, was actually this guy with 35,000 followers. And he replied, he was like, yeah, let's just do it. And he said to me, have you got any work? And this is for short form agency, by the way. He said, do you have any work? And I was like, no, just have a look at my Instagram, like have a look at my Instagram reels. So he did. And he was like, yeah, cool. So I don't recommend people to do that, but I think I got quite lucky. So in my case, if you want to start a short form agency, the best thing to do is just do 10 edits of 10 different people and have it in like a drive folder called examples and just send it to them. That's what I wish I had, instead of saying, yeah, just come over here and look at that for work. So he looked at that, and I signed him on as a client, and we did, I think, £300 a month for like 12 videos a month. And that was my first ever client. And so I scrapped my SaaS agency and I went full into this new agency, which was a short form agency. And after that, I kept doing 25 IG messages in the morning, 25 in the afternoon. And for anyone wondering what script I used this script. And I still use this script today. I don't really outreach anymore because I just want to maintain my clients. I'm on 9 clients. I just want to maintain those clients. However, I am growing a little bit, 1 to 2 clients a month, purely from word of mouth and other people I knew from months ago. That's the script I used to do. And then most of the time they would be like, yeah, cool, send me your work. And obviously now I've got loads of examples and loads of work. And then I kept posting on YouTube, kept growing my YouTube channel. That's the most important thing you can do now. A lot of people say, well, what's the point if I've got nothing? I've got no clients. But I think it's even better if you've got nothing. If you're really starting from scratch, documenting your whole journey to hopefully becoming something one day. And that's exactly what I've done. Like this video, I had nothing, absolutely nothing, and obviously to this video I'm getting somewhere, and so yeah. But YouTube doesn't particularly correlate too much in terms of getting clients. YouTube is more so something fun and something that I know in the long run is going to be super impactful. So that was the first beginning of my agency, and I kept doing this. So then I built a newsletter, and that newsletter was to basically funnel more people into a newsletter and just nurture them even further. And so a founder actually read one of my newsletter and booked a call with me to potentially help with marketing. So he didn't actually want any editing work. He wanted more so a marketing kind of job. He wanted a landing page and automations, newsletter, etc. And he booked in a call for the newsletter, and this just shows how important a newsletter is, because you can just keep on delivering value, and you just get onto that inbox every single time you post a newsletter. So he booked in the call, and then so he wanted a landing page plus automation plus newsletter plus a very basic website, and I charged him £1,500, which is 2,000 US. So we'll keep it US. So I started charging them 2,000 US, and that's when I was like, shit, like this is big money for one client. With the editing agency, my highest paying client was about 800 USD recurring every single month, and I've just went from 800 to 2,000 in like that, and I was like, shit, this is like game changing. This completely changed my mindset. And you might think this is a lot, but this is not hard whatsoever. Really not that hard, and it really doesn't take as much time as you would think, especially when you've got systems in place. But yeah, that's when I was like, shit, this is big money. He was a retired executive and founded his own consulting business. So then I was like, shit, why doesn't my ICP be founders, executive and leaders? And that's exactly what I did. So my LinkedIn, I started a couple months ago. I had about 300 followers. Now I've got 1,576. And I've just been posting twice a week. I did 3 a week, but obviously because I'm traveling, I want to just cut down the work. So I'm doing 2 posts a week. And yeah, I'm just growing my LinkedIn. And the best thing about LinkedIn, and I'm going to take an example for today, I do 20 connections every single day. One of the person I connected messaged me and actually booked in a call with me for Tuesday about helping him with his personal brand. No outreach whatsoever. I mean, you could say a connection request, but it's not really an outreach. I just requested to connect with him. He saw my LinkedIn. That's why, again, so important to have your LinkedIn optimized. And actually there was a slight glitch on my website as well. My website was live when it wasn't supposed to be. And also probably what he did, he went onto my actual website, my personal brand website. He went on my website, saw what I was about, saw that I've got some sort of testimonial and I've got some sort of online presence which builds trust tremendously. He probably went on my website. Only do a website if you've got testimonials. This wasn't actually supposed to be live. There was a slight break, but anyway, he went in, probably saw my testimonials here, and then yeah, booked in the call. But that's like in the long run. That was just a case for today. So then I kind of transitioned from IG to LinkedIn, still DMing on IG 25, 25, 50. So I went on LinkedIn, so I did 20 connection requests every single day. And on Sales Navigator, I would just outreach on people. And on LinkedIn, they're so much more likely to reply on email requests, especially when you've got an optimized LinkedIn profile, which is what I found. When I was doing full on every single day, I would be getting about 4 replies every single day. And yeah, booking at least 2 calls every single day. So my plan was to both use LinkedIn and IG as my main acquisition source. And then what I did further was I built 2 different free training, which was 2 different lead magnets, one for entrepreneurs that were starting out and one for founders, executive and leaders. And what this did is put in their name and email, and every single 2 weeks they would be getting an email from me about a case studies or just value, and then with a book a call at the very end for them to book in a call with me and to show you the automation and how the emails work. So what I use Go High Level for everything, my calendar link and all that. So for example, this is the founders, executives and leaders. What happens is trigger gets submitted. So once they press this button, they get added to a tag, creates an opportunity and value into my Go High Level. Email once gets sent, waits 1 day, email 2, waits 1 day, blah 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 blah, all the way till it removes the tag, which is they've been enrolled in the Founders Executive email campaign, to now adding a tag to being in the newsletters, Founders Executives, which is every 2 weeks they get sent an email by me, which could be value, case studies, etc. And then that's exactly the same for my starting out entrepreneur as well, obviously different email content, but that's how I run both lead magnets. So with IG, I kept pushing on IG, which was 25, and this, with the editing, all my clients that I've got at the moment that I've got through IG, I have not gone on a sales call whatsoever. It's just so much easier. They're just on text, doesn't really matter. They don't really care about a sales call. So if you're scared of like getting on a call, whatever, you don't really need, like, I've not once have they asked to get on the call with me. And IG, again, is very easy to do. I've stopped because, again, I don't want to grow, but I could easily carry on now and grow my client base from 4 to 6 every single month if I did it every single day. And yeah, that's kind of how I went from 0 to 5k a month. And also I really recommend, like, it's so important to be really good at communicating and always, like, I'm always on my phone. Like, my most screen time is Slack and WhatsApp. Slack for my communication with my team and WhatsApp for my clients. And make sure to get WhatsApp business for your clients and not use your personal WhatsApp. Good at what you do and you're good at communicating, then they're going to refer you to so many people as well. I've had one guy refer me to 4 different people, which is crazy to think about, actually. And now I get to work 2 to 3 hours a day max because I've got such a strong team behind me, which is why it's so important as well, once you get to that stage, to hire, but hire very well. I think I got very lucky with me because I've had some people who just can't do it and are not up to the standard. But I've landed to this one guy who's been with me for months, and he kind of knew someone else, so now he's in the team. So now I've got 2 people who work under me, and we're training a 3rd. So I'll have 3 amazing people working under me, and it's so important to find really good people to work with that are very good at what they do, but not only that, but are very good teammates, reply to your messages, and also share the same vision and mission as you as well. And now White Studio has we've kind of evolved from a short form agency to now personal brand agency, which is basically a marketing agency, but I don't want to call myself a marketing agency, so I call myself a personal brand agency. So we've kind of moved from doing just editing videos to now doing kind of a full package. And to show you exactly what we offer, these are the kind of things that we offer: lead generation, video editing, obviously still being a core service, email marketing automation, copywriting, and LinkedIn content, newsletter posts, content calls, profile optimization, Notion page access, and software suite, which are just add-on that the client gets. So we've kind of gone from a short form agency to now a full personal brand agency. $800 was the max that we would charge, and now we can charge up to 3 to 6k a month, obviously now because we do more services. And also another thing actually that I do want to get into is digital product. I made about 500 quid in digital products in the first 2 months of me doing my digital products. I don't really advertise it anymore, and I haven't got a website to easily sell it on. I haven't set up like a Gumroad or anything, but I managed to sell £500 on digital products, which is a Notion page, purely just from my YouTube. I have 353 subscribers, and I managed to sell £500 digital product, which was like 5 months ago, where I had so much less. I probably had like 150 subscribers, and that just shows the importance of personal branding. YouTube just builds trust so much more, and that is the number one currency. So that was another aspect as well of how I made just additional income, and that's something that I will scale when I come back, when I finish my travels, because I know how insane digital product is. When I sold my first digital product, it was 80 quid. I received the 80 quid, I sent them the Notion page, and that was it. And I just felt like that was literally free money because I did nothing. There was no client delivery, no need to back and forth message. It was just self-explanatory, bang, get the Notion page, and that's it. And it was the most insane feeling ever, because it was basically 80 quid free. Obviously it took time to set up the Notion page, but it literally felt like 80 quid free, which just shows the power of digital product. And yeah, that's kind of how I went from 0 to 5k a month in 4 or 5 months. And I think in the next 2 to 3 months I'll probably end up going to 8k a month, just purely from word of mouth and people that I've known a couple of months ago who probably will need my services now. And yeah, that's just how easy it is. It really is that easy. You do not need to overcomplicate anything whatsoever.